I'll spend a few minutes and talk about the stakeholders, which are part of the network magic situation that's being unfolded as an example of developing a systemic perspective. From the systemic perspective stakeholder segment, we talked about the fact that you need to identify the stakeholders, those that are actively affecting the situation, those who are affected by the situation, understand their mental models, motivations, values, beliefs, the extent, and use Jackson's framework to understand the extent to which they are in fact relatively well aligned in terms of their values and beliefs, to get a sense of the potential ways to work with the stakeholders in resolving this particular situation, based upon the model that we developed for network magic, the causal loop diagram. Identifying the stakeholders seems to be relatively straightforward in that there's the management of the organization and there's the customers, and even though they don't show up on this diagram, they're rather evident, and the support organization and all of the other organizations in network magic. And at this point, based upon the current understanding, it seems as though you can aggregate all of the other organizations into a lump group and treat them as a single stakeholder. That may or may not be true, and we'll find that out as we continue to unfold the understanding associated with the situation. So for network magic, in terms of its stakeholders, we have customer support interacting with the customers, all the other organizations interacting with the customers in various ways, those other organizations interacting with support, and customer support and other organizations interacting with management. And from the Jackson framework profile of the stakeholders, one would expect them to be relatively unitary. The organizations succeed or fail based upon network magic succeeding or failing. So one would expect them to have relatively the same objectives and goals in terms of the organization succeeding, except to the extent where management may have screwed up the goaling for different segments of the organization, so that in certain aspects they are in fact pluralist or maybe even coercive with regard to each other in some dimensions. For the most part, in terms of the situation that we're dealing with, trying to figure out how to resource the organization, the goals and objectives of the various organizations should be relatively well aligned, and I would expect that the customers in fact want the organization to be successful, so that, I mean, they've been happy with the customer's product or the company's products to this point, and they want the company to continue to bring out new models and continue to support the products that they purchased. So I would expect that this is a group that would be relatively at ease working together, trying to figure out how to deal with this situation, because it's a win-win-win for everyone involved if they get it figured out and figure out how to move forward. So hope this has been informative, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.